Oops, that's the wrong thing. 1 second, please. Actually, I'll keep that on display capture. Hello, all. Welcome to a YouTube stream, which is something I haven't done in forever. How is it going, everyone? How did everyone enjoy, Dev Stream Day? Oops, let me mute myself on that end. Sorry, it's been a while since I run one of these streams. Usually my setup is geared towards Twitch, but I suppose this works too. So yeah, I've had the chance. You guys have probably seen me post it now. You'll also forgive me as I'm about to eat this Red Baron pizza. It was appropriate for today, though. Also, I'm hungry. That dev stream was long. Let me get a napkin. But if you've got, yes, plan is coming to game. Plan is coming to game. If you have any questions about flying the actual planes, as I said, me and a couple other content creators like Frick, like Robert, Moy, we got a chance to fly around in the planes and then do some little demos. So if you have any questions about flying the planes, I will be happy to answer them. And I'm actually going to just play some of the footage that I was allowed to release or to record in the background, mostly muted, just so you guys have some visuals to go on. Can we test the planes right now? No. So Dev Branch is coming on Tuesday. So Tuesday, January 20th is when Dev Branch is going to be released. Usually they release the Dev Branch right after the dev streams, but I assume in this case they just wanted to give themselves a full week to actually monitor what people are saying instead of doing it on a Friday and then packing away for the weekend. That's my assumption. I don't know that for a fact, but it seems like a reasonable assumption. Sorry, I'm also just getting water. Please let me know if my audio is good. You shouldn't be hearing the video too much in the background, but again, if you guys haven't seen it and the video is only just released like 10 minutes ago, so you probably still haven't seen the whole video, I have an edited down version of all of this footage just showing some of the basic flights for fighters, bombers, dive bombers, which are super fun. I didn't get too much footage of the Warden planes because I was just so focused on the Colonial planes, but there's footage there. I've also got a series of shorts, which I did ask permission, and I'm allowed to release, and I'll be releasing them starting tomorrow every day up until Dev Branch, and I still need to edit 1 or 2, so hopefully those will be ready. But yes, okay. I'll switch around to the footage as it's relevant if we do things. But before I start answering chat's questions, number 1, I'm hungry, so I'm going to eat this pizza. Number 2, before I answer the questions, what are your guys' favorite planes out there? Because I'm going to tell you right away, honestly, I actually really like the Colonial fighter plane. I think aesthetically, it's the most pleasing, especially with, hang on, there's other shots of it. There's other shots of it. Oh, yeah. Here, hang on, this is the footage. There's other shots of it here. With those plane stripes and the spears on the side. Dude, this is my favorite fight. This is my favorite plane design in the game. And I hate that it's Colonial, but it's my favorite. There's me stalling out like a pro on takeoff, but it's okay. I didn't die. You sound great? Okay, cool. So yeah, let me eat this pizza and tell me what you guys are most excited for. What's the first plane you're gonna fly? What's the first thing you're gonna do in Airborne? It's a Red Baron pizza, like I said again, so it's airborne appropriate. Okay. So again, I'll answer the first question again. Dev Branch is on Tuesday, so that's January 20th. That's when Dev Branch opens. We can't do anything until then. And for the record, this demo, I think this demo lasted about 2 hours. I think the first hour was the devs touring us around and setting up scenarios, and the second hour was us just being able to do whatever, fly whatever planes we wanted in this map. I know a lot of people are asking about region travel. We could not test the region travel here But from what I understand, because a question was asked, region travel is going to work just like ground vehicles, except there's going to be a warning before you hit the border to either like set your queue or you have to turn around, because I don't think you will stop at all once you hit the border. So it's actually a bit more active than, but just like a vehicle, you go to the border, you press to enter a queue, and then you can go. You don't actually have to sit at the border. A lot of people forget that. You don't actually have to sit at the border. Okay, gonna take another slice of pizza before I answer some questions, or bite of pizza. All right, let's start answering some questions. Again, most of our demo was just on the planes and flight mechanics. We didn't get to test any of the new ships you saw. We didn't even get to see the new carriers that they just revealed. Which, by the way, if you haven't watched Dev Branch or Dev Stream, you should probably watch that first, because I might spoil some stuff in it. How easy is it to fly them? So the dev said it's going to take a lot of skill. I actually disagree a little bit. It's not going to take a lot of skill to fly the taking off is super easy, actually. Taxiing is a little bit sensitive. Like, your turns, even though you stop, like, even though you tone down your thrust, there's still going to be a lot of momentum. And so if you're turning and stop your thrust, you'll still, like, fishtail around a little bit. So taxiing is a little complicated, but you're on the ground, so you're probably, hopefully, not going to crash into anything. Taking off, I actually find really easy, because it's just mouse wheel. So mouse wheel is your throttle controls. So you just mouse wheel forward, press S, and you're going to take off. Larger airplanes need more runway to take off. So there's that. Flying at high altitude is a breeze. And honestly, like, going up high like this that you see on screen right now and just being able to look down at the map, it really does feel like the people who first took the flight, the brothers, whatever, chat remind me what their names were. But just being able to see the world from so on high is something special after literally a decade of this game. Reminder that in August, it will be 10 years since I started playing this game. I cannot believe that. Okay, can you shoot your own tail? No, and I've tried. No, so your own aircraft bullets cannot interact with your own aircraft. So gunners can't shoot the tails off their own planes. You know, you can't shoot your wings off, anything like that. Which, less realistic, but let's be honest, that's probably a good thing. What's the control scheme to fly planes? Okay, so control scheme is W is to pitch down. Okay, so my fingers are the front of the plane, right? Can you guys see that? Is that good enough? Okay. My fingers are the front of the plane. W is to pitch down. S is to pitch up, so it's inverted, as most aircraft controls usually are. A is to pitch, or A is to roll left, D is to roll right, as you'd figure. But then the left and right arrow keys, which are rebindable, and I tried rebinding them to Q and E, makes your tail fin go left and right, or your tail rudder go left and right. So you can do a gentler turn with the tail rudder, or you can pitch up and then roll right, so W and D, to do like a really sharp right turn, as it were. So there is actually like reasonable mechanics to everything. At least it sounds like it, or at least it seems that way. Really impressed with this update. Seems to solve much of the issues people had with the game. Naval, yeah, torpedo damage getting nerfed. Again, we didn't test any of the naval stuff. We've just done the air stuff. But hearing that large holes are no longer as damaging as before, hopefully gives naval a bit more staying power for both factions, but especially the colonials. The Warden Scout plane looks cool. Again, I'm not gonna lie, I like the colonial. I like all of the colonial aircraft way more, except maybe the scout plane. So I'm gonna go to the scout plane real quick if I remember where the footage, or what I called the footage. The problem is, scout plane collie. Problem is I named this all terrible names, so okay. So I don't like the collie scout plane as much for only one reason. It's got two big pontoons under it, and let me tell you, as someone who is trying to do so much cinematic footage and stuff, the worst thing is clipping. So you'll see there's a line under your aircraft, and actually, to Mamaril, who did the original like aircraft testing or demo to see if it was possible in Foxhole, so they brought that over, but you can clip your aircraft so easily, and man, especially the scout planes, they're so delicate. They're really delicate. Okay, hang on. Oh no, mouse wheel is broken. Yeah, you might wanna fix your mouse wheel. Mouse wheel is gonna be very important for airborne. Can you take off from a road? It depends what kind of aircraft you have. Certain aircraft will require certain surfaces. So seaplanes can obviously take off from the water, or from I'm pretty sure they can take off from roads or literally anywhere because they have such little requirements. But stuff like fighters, you need a runway. Bombers absolutely need a runway. So yeah, there's different classes, but basically smaller, nimbler planes can probably take off from more places, and larger planes not so much. How much fuel lasts on each plane? That I think is changing a lot, because for the bombers it was like we were fully fueled up with heavy fuel, mind you, and the bombing run that you see in my full video, again, go see that if you haven't. I'll play some footage at some point. Actually, do I have more bomber footage? No, but I'll just do this. Heavy bombers, I think we blew through like half our fuel just going across one map and back to the airbase. So I suspect that's not fully implemented, because that seems like it would be way too short a distance. That being said, I don't imagine planes are going to be able to travel. Okay, this is speculation on my part for what the final build is going to be. I don't know for a fact. I feel like planes are probably going to be able to travel 2, maybe 3 hexes distance at most before having to turn back, because I think the idea is you want to push the lines forward to capture airfields. Yeah.
That's a sight of the Isles you don't every day.
Like while I like and I'm sorry if I'm not answering questions so fast. Again, I'm doing a lot of stuff, and I'm trying to give details where I can. I don't know how long this stream's going to be, but I guess as long as you guys are here, we'll do it. I also want to note, like I noted in the video, firing from cinematic mode is really hard because you can't see the up and down elevation of where your shots are going. So these aircraft are a little more delicate than what appears in my footage, but I just wanted to make it look cool. Okay. Orville and Wilbur were the Wright brothers. Right, I couldn't remember. Oh, the Wright brothers, yes. I remembered their first names. I couldn't remember the last ones for some reason.
Back around port side.
Also, side note, I've adjusted my stream settings, so now I should be able to stream at a higher quality with fewer interruptions. So hopefully that appears on this stream. Will you just stop pitching up at some point? Like, how high up can you go? I believe the max ceiling height for the in-game measurements, obviously this isn't how real aircraft work, but I think in-game it was 100 meters above the ground. Oh, also, bombing run time. So hang on, let's show that off. I'll eat another slice of pizza. You can't really hear it, but I'll turn up the volume for this one anyways. Because, I mean, honestly, this is my favorite shot. Okay, so, yeah, 100 meter, if I recall correctly, again, I might be misremembering numbers. I think it's 100 meter flight ceiling. Once you get to that height, it'll start to level you off automatically. So it's newbie friendly. I like that. Yeah, the scout planes are very newbie friendly. According to this build, and again, these aren't final numbers, but according to this build, it was like 35 RMATs. Even if it doubles to like 70 RMATs, that's still friggin' cheap. Okay, what else have we got? I'm just going to turn that down a little bit. I need to catch up on these questions or I'm not going to be on the live thing. Yeah, Wardens are definitely more centered around their battleship. That's true, yeah. I'm so jealous of the Colonial carry. Like, honestly, the Airborne update, from what I've seen so far, kind of makes me want to go Colonial for the update. Am I a traitor for saying that? I saw a 14mm round. Does that mean they restored the old 20mm for Vic-mounted ATR guns? I'm actually not sure, Rivia, what exactly... Like, from what I understood from the dev stream, they just brought back the 14.5mm so that they could have a caliber for aircraft specifically, but I don't think there were any other changes. Or at least they didn't mention any other changes other than that. Hang on. Oh, I lost for the question. Oh, what are the logistics payload? Bob Ross. Hey, Bob Ross. Bob Ross asks, what are the logistics payloads allowed into the Paratrooper plane? Honestly, I have no idea. I know there's a limited amount of crates. I don't know what that upper limit is, and I don't know if there's any other restrictions on it. We saw the ability in the build to do that, but I don't know if, like, what the limits of it are. The 30 minutes no intel on paratroopers is insane. Very true. 30 minutes is a lot of time. I wonder how much paratroopers can really get done, because you can't carry heavy equipment, right? You can't carry anything like a tripod that like physically you have to carry with your hands. It can only be the stuff that's on your person. Paratrooper slots, and now that we're talking about paratroopers, let me bring that up. The paratrooper slots, I think it's like 4, maybe 5.
Uniform.
I don't even remember. Do I show? Sort of show my inventory. Oh wait, I died there. That's why. Hang on. Hang on. Nope. Hang on. Give me a second here. So the paratrooper gets 5 slots. The parachute goes into the backpack slot, so you can't have radios or anything like that, right? That would take up that slot. You can't bring flamethrowers, right? And as they said in the dev stream, as they told us, if you're overweight, if you're over your carrying capacity as a paratrooper and you jump, you are just going to drop and die. Like, you cannot be over encumbered as a paratrooper. So there's some hard limits on it. I feel like the no intel revealed for 30 minutes is kind of necessary for them to be able to do anything at all. But again, that number will likely be tweaked.
Kurt, you're still in a pilot's outfit, you know that, right?
Hang on. Everyone gets the likes up for this video. Thanks.
I mean, you can. There's nothing says you can't.
That's 30 minutes to set up, scatter, or raise hell. Yeah, basically. Have you experimented with paratrooping being able to be shot by, or paratroopers being able to be shot by pillboxes? So that's a good specification. You're only invisible to intel. Active structures will still target you. So paratroopers can't just land in an enemy-occupied city and just sit there. They might be able to survive if they land on some roofs, but that's going to be a really high-stakes gamble if you even want to try that. Never mind the fact that you have to fly the aircraft over, presumably where there's flak. What's the price for planes? I don't have the price for planes memorized. They're probably going to change. The only one I know for sure, as of this build, which may change, was 35 RMATs for the scout plane. All the other planes require facility-made parts. And also, I just want to take a second to admire that you actually have to raise and lower the ramp or open the doors as you're parachuting out. I don't think the Warden paratrooper plane actually has a ramp. I think it's just 2 doors on the side. So I think Colonials will actually be able to deploy more paratroopers more quickly, and you'll actually be like less scattered when you land. It's actually an advantage I didn't think about until just now as we're having this discussion. Um, do you have to lead your shots to hit? For planes, not too much. Like the distances you're engaging isn't that high, but yeah. Oh shit. Oh, I'm falling way behind on this chat. Hang on. Give me a second. I don't care for the Warden seaplane tender. If Wardens were going to give such a limited ship, I would have preferred something like a I-400 seaplane submarine. The seaplane submarine sounds really cool, sir. But I think that seaplane tender will be okay. I still think it's going to be way outclassed by the Colonial aircraft carrier. I mean, just going off the trailer, right? Like the seaplane tender can launch a maximum of 3 aircraft at a time, or like at the same time. Collies look like they can do 4, maybe 5 if they stack their runways really well.
I'm Dutch. My only association with red lights is something completely different.
Oh, jeez.
All right, everybody stand up and get.
I'll skip the hex crossing question again for until later because I know a lot of people are asking that one.
Oh God. About the ramp or door?
Are planes rares? I mean, it doesn't seem like they're going to be that rare. From what we understand, there's going to be quite a few airfields, which are world structures. So you can't build airfields. You actually have to take and capture them or just have them in your possession. But it doesn't seem like planes should be that rare. That being said, I think if you see anything more than like a 3 bomber raid, it's gonna be a pretty rare event. It's gonna be like getting shelled by a storm cannon or something in terms of how frequently you'll experience it. Is my guess. Can you mass produce facility scout planes? I actually don't know. I'm going to I actually don't know the answer to that question. I'm gonna assume you can, but I actually don't know for a fact. How expensive are the pilot uniforms?
Oh shit.
I actually don't know how expensive the pilot uniforms are, nor do I know what the cost for the paratrooper uniforms are, to be honest. How do dogfights look from the ground? Again, we didn't actually get to test that out too much. You will, as a soldier on the ground, though. Let's see if I go back to the runway. Let's see if I can. So even when you're not in an aircraft, you will still see that line below other people's aircraft. It will be green for friendly and red for hostiles. So you'll always be aware that there are aircraft around. Now, whether you're able to use that line to accurately determine where they are or if they're going to strike you might be a little tougher, but you will be aware of their presence. So actually, you can even see in this footage here, I'm just a soldier on the ground, but you can see this little green marker below this plane because it was occupied by a friendly. And then this one is red because I guess a warden player or whatever hopped into this plane. But you can see that you should always be aware that there are planes nearby, and you will hear them when they're overhead. But the sound kind of faded out a little quicker than I'd like during this build, so eh. Colonials are eating good. Did large planes require rare mats? I believe so, yes. Or their parts required rare materials. Again, I don't have all the numbers. I don't memorize that. Freer might be able to tell you a little bit more. But again, we only got a 2-hour demo. We are mainly just testing out the flying and the planes themselves. For once, not Warden bias, even huge Colonial. Like I've said, I really want to go Colonial. I like the Warden Paratrooper uniform better, but man, I like all of the Colonial aircraft better. And speaking of better, let's get some dive bomber. But this thing was so much fun. Okay, so I didn't actually get to do the Warden torpedo bomber very much. I'll talk about it a little bit. Do you guys know how friggin' easy it is to accidentally clip structures or, I don't know, the radio towers on boats with this plane? Dude, so many Warden torpedo bomber crews are going to end themselves trying to strike planes with this thing. I mean with the torpedoes, but they're going to end up striking the planes with the aircraft itself. It is fun, but man, is there so much opportunity for you to crash this thing. This thing is, I don't think you guys understand. Actually, I'm pretty sure I crash it in this. Yeah, I immediately crash it because. Oh no, wait, it's not this one. Hang on, give me a second. Which one is it? I think it's just. Again, I should have titled these better. Yeah. Okay, so here's the Warden torpedo bomber. It's great. It looks cool. I'm sure it's gonna have its uses, but holy crap, it's slow. It needs a long runway, and the fact that you have to go low to the ground, or sorry, low to the sky, in order to drop its torpedoes means that if you mess up your controls, you're ending up in the ocean. It doesn't float. Also, in this footage, because I tried to use cinematic camera, I accidentally decreased my my speed and crashed it immediately. So I knew a lot of Colonials were upset when they saw this, but trust me, I think it might kill more Wardens than it kills Colonials. It's so easy to crash it. And again, if you're attacking a boat from like water surface, you have to then raise your aircraft to clear the boat before crashing into it and losing your aircraft. Okay, sorry. Enough about that. How does aiming work for the gunner? Do they have to manually adjust the height? No. So the height is snapping. It should be snapping just like anything else. You can aim above your aircraft. You can aim below your aircraft if you're a gunner. That works. Actually, hang on. I think me and Robert get up into a dive bomber in this footage somewhere.
So if you're going too fast, you'll die.
Nope. That's oh no. That's my fighter plane. Sorry. That's the I need to do this one. Sorry, I just want to let you guys know I've been on like 5 hours of sleep for the last like 4 days, both from excitement and from the nerves of having to edit these videos. But yeah, I took the gunner seat in this one because Robert was having a little bit of trouble controlling the air flaps, so I decided to take that role. Just press it a single time? Yeah, 14.5 will be the new anti-tank model, and 20 mil will be for planes. Yes, sorry, I messed that up. Oh, weird. Skylord asks an interesting question. Did I see faction-specific ranks in your video? Boys, pour one out for the major generals out there. Faction-specific ranks are coming. As you can see, Robert is a hop in this, which I assume is hoplite. Yes, factions are getting their own specific ranks. I don't know what the Warden ones are, but the Colonial ones are very clearly Greco-Roman based. I saw a Legate. I saw a Centurion. I don't remember what the other ones are. I think there might have been Velites or Levies, maybe. I can't remember exactly, but yes, there's faction-specific ranks, which is interesting. A little bit of flair, I suppose. You know what? I'm gonna just zoom down to the current like live chat, you guys. If I didn't answer your questions previously, please just ask them again. Oh shit! Oh, whoops. Warden torpedo bomber looks so French. It's so weird that it has 3 propellers on the front of it. So again, okay, real quick, landing actually not as hard. Now, to be fair, I forgot to land with my gears up in this, and I still managed to survive. So. Landing well is going to be hard. Landing at all, not so bad. Hi, in your video at 1720, I did see a building shaped like shirts. Shaped like shirts in the map legend. What was that? Let me bring up my video for a second. Thank you for adding a timestamp, by the way. It's at 1712.
That's one I built out of because I couldn't fucking...
Nope, never mind.
I just let it.
This one, I presume, is the one you're talking about? If you're talking about these cross shapes, those are the map intel markers for aircraft. There's actually 2 different ones for large and small aircraft. This guy over here, I believe was some sort of hangar. This is also a hangar, and this is like an aircraft like production hangar. I don't actually remember what this one is exactly. But those were some of the new icons you probably saw. I also just realized some of those Astro Goblin videos had some questionable thumbnails in them. Did I test the AA guns? No, there were no AA guns in this test. We don't know how they're gonna work exactly, but it from the dev stream it kind of looks like it's gonna be not too dissimilar from artillery, where you need someone spotting, you need someone loading, you need someone firing, that kind of thing. Dev branch will be on Tuesday, January 20th. So that's next Tuesday. So we have a bit of time before we freak out and lose our shit.
Wheels up.
Saucy Lemon asks a very good question. What happens when you crash into other planes?
Excellent.
There's a good shot of it when I'm defending the bomber.
As Mark said,
When you crash into other planes, so you don't actually do direct damage by crashing into other planes, and I think that's actually a really smart move, because otherwise you just have a bunch of people crashing into other, like, you'd just be sacrificing scout planes to take on bomber planes, right? I'm trying to find that footage. Where is... I know it happens at some point. I think it's on this run.
So to descend the aircraft, but this will do the low altitude.
I think I skipped over it. But basically,
So make sure
the devs described it in this way. Each aircraft has a magnet that will repulse other magnets. Smaller aircraft have smaller magnets, larger aircraft have larger magnets. So if you take a scout plane and you ram it into a bomber plane, the bomber's going to shake a little bit and like veer off. The scout plane's going to shake a lot and veer off in the other direction. So you can't force a crash by colliding with another aircraft, but you could potentially bully other airplanes into like a cliff or into the water if it's at a specific angle. And I think that's probably the most elegant solution, so that people aren't just slamming into each other left, right, and center. How do you look up if an enemy plane is above you? Is it just invisible? No, so as I said before, you will always see the line below enemy planes as you see in this footage. Those red lines are always going to be there unless you turn off your HUD. For cinematic purposes. Oh, here's a plane. You see how the bomber kind of didn't get particularly affected, but those fighters did? I'm pretty sure I have other footage of me and a fighter. Oh, I think it was actually fighter attack. What am I attacking in this one? Yeah, it's fighter attack. Hang on. But yeah, those magnets in action are... Let me find a pass where I actually just slam into the guy.
I did, yeah.
Oh yeah, here you go. So you can kind of see it gets a little jittery, and my aircraft is forced away while the bomber is able to continue on. I also just noticed in this footage, he's still got his landing gear down, which is slowing him down. Maybe he was just doing that so it could be easier to shoot. Oh, here I go again. Yeah, so it's not clipping, but it's not like a crash. Hey, Mason, how's it going? Mason, are you happy to see those lines? There are some features I spotted similar to how I envisioned. Yeah, I when I saw those lines, I'm like, wait a minute, this is exactly what Mason was. For people who don't know, Mason demoed like how aircraft could work in Foxhole, like, what is it, 2-3 years ago now? And now they're here. Oh, and Structure Legend next to the garage. Hang on. Oh, whoops, I closed that window, didn't I? Nope. Oh, did I close the window? Oops, I think I closed the window. Hang on. My bad, I gotta bring up that video again. Oh shoot, I should set that as my... I'll do it later. So you said 17, or yeah, 1712. Hang on. Because I don't even remember that symbol. Oop. Go back. You said it was next to the... Oh, yeah. I actually don't know what that symbol is. I'm going to assume that's the uniform factory, but I actually have no idea what this shirt symbol is. I did not have time to investigate that during our playtest. What types of fuel do planes use? Scout planes use diesel. Again, this is in this build. It might change for later, but scout planes only used diesel. They used it pretty fast, but they used only diesel. And the other planes, I believe, use heavy fuel. Yeah, so the planes used heavy fuel for the most part. Just want some of the ship action that we did. Robert and I had trouble finding the enemy ship. Okay, so here's Robert and I going on some bombing runs. Accuracy takes a little bit of practice. Now, what I would have done is I would have gone lengthwise around or up and down the ship, but Robert was going cross sides on it.
Close miss. Does the Warden bomb not have
It's not as
retractable
easy as you'd think it is,
missing?
but that's why coordination with your rear gunner for the air flaps is really important. Hang on. This was actually one of our dive bomb, but come on, we want to be on him. Oh, net. Oh, hang on, we'll have to do a different pass.
Okay.
Sorry. Again, if I miss your questions, please just ask it again, because I am cycling through these. Can you damage ground? Milo asks, can you damage ground stuff with airplanes? I mean, like kamikaze into ships. Does it do? You can physically crash into ships, planes, or ships. Activating air flaps. Ships, trains, vehicles, trucks, that kind of thing. Buildings. I don't think it does damage though. That's F for the. If it does, it's like minimal damage. Okay, releasing air flap. We'll have to go in again. Each aircraft carrier probably fits their side display style. The Warden aircraft carrier probably leans more on scout support and overwhelming firepower. I think that's a fair assumption. Colonial aircraft relies on promoting efficiency and overwhelming numbers at sea. Turn a little left. Dude, I'm so scared to find out how many aircraft the Colonial aircraft carrier can store. Because if it's like 10, the Wardens are gutted. Sorry, if it's 10 dive bombers, then the Wardens are gutted. If it's only 10 fighters, then not so bad.
Correct. The landing gear is fixed in the Warden bomber.
Are you able to do a full barrel roll? So, I'm gonna go back to, I should have named this footage better. I think it's fighters. And hopefully this can answer your question. Oh, this was fun. I think this was Freak. I was just like, man, how long did these plane engines take to destroy? And he just comes right overhead and nails the other engine in one pass. Watch this stuff. Watch this. Look at this guy. Look at this fucking pro. He just nails it. So both engines on this bomber, or no, on this paratrooper plane, get disabled, and it's just dead. It's going down. He tries to glide towards the shore a little bit, and he actually does succeed. But that aircraft is down and out of the fight. There's those magnets again. Sorry, what was the question I was answering? Oh, barrel rolls, right. Okay, so this is the part I actually wanted to point out. So here I'm being chased by two fighters. I don't... It's kind of tough, because I swear I've seen some people do it. You can do a loop if you cut your throttle at the right time as you're going straight up, and then reactivate it as you come back down. You can do some crazy maneuvers, but in general, the game kind of tries to keep you flying level. But again, you can pull some maneuvers. And let me tell you, with that Colonial dive bomber and the air brake, I'm pretty sure you can pull a Maverick maneuver where you're being chased and you just pull on the brakes and get behind the enemy aircraft. I mean, its guns only face backwards, so that's not as useful, but it's still so cool. Oh, and here's me getting my tail shot off, and look how my aircraft controls just absolutely tank after that happens. Like, watch this. And tail shot off, and I immediately just lose any reasonable steering, and it's game over at that point. So targeting aircraft parts is super recommended. So when's the release? The devs have said the release is going to be on February 9th, which is nice because my bingo card had it on February 5th. So I was off by a few days. I did not spot any anti-aircraft vehicles, no. But I'm pretty sure there are some in the game. From the conversations I remember, I'm pretty sure there are some. How do radars work? We didn't get a chance to actually use them ourselves. Radars, it seems. Actually, I'm gonna play. This is a funny video. Keep you guys occupied. I don't know if you're gonna be able to do this in the full build, but this was so funny. I was just like, hey, Moy, take off with that scout plane. Let me stand on your wing while you take off on the scout plane. See what happens.
Yes.
And hilarity ensues.
It's got a. I think it's got a.
So from what I understand with the radar, it's basically like a semicircular cone that will detect aircraft. I think I saw it on the map. It's like a third or half of a region, and then you can rotate it as you need. But then I think there's like a sort of spotting system with it. I don't know exactly how that spotting system works, so we'll just have to see with Dev Branch, unfortunately.
So I'm curious to know.
Oh yeah, I had to drop literally every item to get into the plane there.
Again. Hey, Freak. Hey, Freak, here, there you are. Yeah, I was just showing the clip of you taking out that bomber's engine. It was really good.
You guys can try shooting each other down if you want, but just be aware that
We'll need ammo.
there is like an aim mechanic that helps.
So hang on.
With
Joseph asks, I know you play collies mostly. I actually don't. I play wardens mostly, but that's fair. Do you feel that the collie dive bomber will tilt
Let's go.
the general towards the collies? Tilt the general? I don't know. Here's what I will say about the collie dive bomber, though. It can attack ground targets and sea targets, whereas the warden torpedo bomber can only attack sea targets. So that's a huge bonus for versatility for the collies. I'm pretty sure with the introduction of the collie dive bomber, warden tank lines might stop being a thing.
Give it a hard bank. Let's see.
Like, I really think dive bombers are going to be able to. Yeah. I really think dive bombers are going to be able to target tanks and just single out and bully them if they are good dive bombers. I don't know. Again, we'll see how it plays out, but I think the collies have a lot to be excited for in this update. It's funny they don't show you how it will take 40 hours to build just one plane. They just show you the fun gameplay. Big guns, they actually did straight up say to us, like, bomber planes at this current build take about, I think they said it was like 36 hours to get all the materials assembled to, like, from start to finish, or maybe it was just the assembly. I don't remember what stage, but they're not fooling around. They say, like, bombers are supposed to be expensive because they're also very powerful. Scout planes, though? How long does it take you to collect 35 RMATs and then hammer that 35 times and fuel it up?
No, stop trying to shoot me.
You could probably build a scout plane within an hour or two. At most, like, if you are in control of the aircraft hangar and you have components on hand, like, obviously you need to refine the components. That's going to take a little more time. But the second you have components in your hand, you'll be flying a scout plane within an hour.
Oh shit! No.
Again, sorry if I'm missing your questions. Just please ask them again. I'll do my best to answer what I can. I've heard both scout planes will be able to carry small torpedoes. Is that true? No. So the Colonial scout plane has access. I don't have good footage of it, unfortunately. I only have footage of me crashing it, so you'll have to deal with that. So the Colonial scout plane can carry a small water mine, but from what I was able to test here, that water mine will detonate on contact. You can't do that with the Warden scout plane. You have to get load of the water in the Warden scout plane and then launch the torpedoes that way. And you can't affect ground vehicles with the torpedoes. I think the Collie... okay, this is pure speculation. I think the Collie scout plane can drop its sea mines directly onto ground targets and have it explode. I don't think it'll do very much damage. But Collie sea mines, they can be placed in the water as obviously a temporary barrier to ships, or just dropped directly onto a small or even a large ship. So again, sounds like the Collie scout plane is a little more versatile than the Warden one. Like, the torpedoes are cool, don't get me wrong. I'm excited about the torpedoes, but, like,
Oh my gosh.
man, there's so many more situations where I'd prefer a Collie scout plane than a Warden one. Yeah. Can you jump out the back with a parachute? Yes, you can jump out the back of any aircraft with a parachute. If you do not have a parachute, you actually cannot bail out, which I think they should allow you, but I mean, I guess they have reasons for it, but you can't bail out without a parachute. Actually, Robert and I demonstrate what happens when you. Nope, not this footage. Where's the other one? Dive bomber shot down. This is what happens when you don't have a parachute, and you would very much like to bail out because your tail's missing.
I don't either. I just want to see my fly out of the plane now.
Pull up! Pull up!
The real question is, can I drop a torpedo on a tank? Physically, yes. Effectively, I don't think so. I don't think you can actually do damage because they need to be in the water to detonate, from what I understand. Okay, hang on. What other? Can you steal other factions' planes? It was described to us by a dev. In the current build, and they're not sure if they're going to keep it, but in the current build for Airborne, you can steal other aircraft, but aircraft parts, the actual parts you need to assemble an aircraft together, are faction specific. So in this current build, you would be able to steal an aircraft, but if it got damaged, if it lost a wing or you crashed it, it basically would be inoperable.
Only if you have a parachute, shift X. Hold on, try to maintain her.
So I know what you're thinking. I know you want a Top Gun Maverick, and I'm right there with you. I also want a Top Gun Maverick some shit.
Pull up! Pull up!
Requires parachute.
Okay.
Okay, so you can't eject if you don't have a parachute. Eject. How do we eject?
Yo, Bear, what's the difference between hangars, airfields, and aircraft depots? They're all world structures, and I think they're all clustered together, just like you see in this preview build. Let's do. What have I not done yet? Actually, you know what? We're talking kind of about the ground stuff, so let's go back to this footage.
It's gonna be split between so until.
Oh, right. I just recorded a bunch of nothing. Hang on. Give me a second here.
As Mark said, this is trailers.
Okay,
It's
so
not just the airframe. A big part of the
yeah, so here's an aircraft that's like completely stripped of all parts. Doesn't have any engines. Doesn't have any like fuselage parts or hull parts or whatever. But the hangars, airfields, and aircraft depots. I'm going to use vague words. We'll see it in Dev Branch because, again, there was so much information coming at us that I didn't have time to take all the notes. I believe aircraft, like depots, are basically the equivalent of a seaport where it's storage for your aircraft. You could pack all your materials and stuff in there. Airfields, like hangars are places where, just in this build, you were only able to build scout aircraft, if I recall. So it was basically like a vehicle garage, but it was only available to the scout aircraft. The larger aircraft have to be produced via facilities, it sounds like. And then the airfield itself is like the actual runway and the whole thing. And again, these are world structures, so I think they're going to be placed by the devs on the map, and we have to fight over them. No, I didn't try bombing a tank with a torpedo bomber. In fact, again, the torpedo bombers are really finicky aircraft, so flying it is very dangerous, and I did not successfully launch any torpedoes the entire time. How does the cross-border work? I missed it in the dev stream. They didn't show it off in the dev stream. Oh, why was that message removed? Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. Am I just falling behind on questions? Oh, shit. Okay, so we didn't get a chance to test it out in this build, but as it was explained to us, teleporting across borders in a plane, number one, it's very similar to how you do it with ground vehicles, with the exception that you get a warning saying that you are approaching the border. Either you teleport or you turn around. And there's like a countdown, so I think your aircraft might actually explode if you don't get away from the border fast enough. But after you teleport, just like with ground vehicles, you can just go off and do something else. But I think the teleport would have to be like immediate, because otherwise you're going to waste a bunch of fuel, right? So just like ground vehicles, but with a few more extras to make sure you're not stuck flying in the air like everyone was thinking it was going to be. But yeah. Okay, hang on. Again, more questions. So no player-made airfields? It doesn't seem like it. I think the airfields can have upgrades. because I remember them mentioning something about runway tiers, but I don't think you can build any of the structures,
the
only
target?
upgrade them. So like garrison houses, right? You can upgrade a garrison house and stuff, but I don't think you can actually build one. Or like build where one is located. You have to find one in the world. Since aircraft are in the back, you have to walk your way to the enemy airfield and steal it. Not necessarily, John. John Dane, because I mean, no, because you need a pilot's uniform. Oh, but people with pilot uniforms on can equip parachutes and jump out the back of a paratrooper plane, just like paratroopers. So, or if you get shot down over enemy territory and happen upon an enemy aircraft, you could still get into one that way. So it's not impossible, at least as long as they keep it in the game. We'll see if they do. I really hope they do, because that's fucking cool.
AKA the worst position.
Did the dev say anything about the possibility of vehicles dropped from planes, Bike? No, it doesn't sound like it. Only supplies, and again, I don't know if the supplies are dropped from the planes or if planes can simply carry those supplies. But yeah. Did you test all the new boats? No, this build was just for the aircraft, unfortunately. But I mean, there was so much already. Like our brains would have fucking melted if that was the case. Enemy info and carrying crates on aircraft mounts. So again, you can carry some crates of supplies in paratrooper aircraft. We don't know what limitations there are in that. We don't know how many crates, but you can carry some. And we don't know how you distribute those crates, whether you can just toss them out the back or if you have to land in order to distribute them. I guess it's going to be the difference between Stalingrad or the Berlin airlift. I don't know which. I mean, the Stalingrad one had to land planes on an airfield, 100%. Berlin airlift, where they drop them out the back. Do scout planes generate map intel? They generate some sort of intel. I don't remember how, though. They gave us a little. I don't actually know if I have it recorded. Oh, this is actually. Did I show it in here? Oh, hang on. Might have been in the briefing footage. There was actually like a little aircraft-specific radio that you could carry on your person with you. I'm also just trying to find footage I haven't shown yet. Oh, I'm finally encountering internet troubles. Sorry if the stream goes a little wonky for a second. My new settings are good, but they're not perfect, so give me a second here. Let me make sure the stream's up and running before I start talking about stuff proper.
Oh yeah, let's go then. Let's get him.
Apologies for that. Internet's not perfect out here.
Oh, don't worry, we got a good demo of that just a few minutes ago.
One moment, please.
Well, I took damage by crashing down, and now it's being shot by the relic.
Jeez,
so...
OBS
Hang
almost
on,
crashed.
slow your speed for a second so I can catch up.
Okay.
Alright, I'm good.
I'm going to assume there's some buffering, but I'm also going to assume you guys still get everything of what I'm saying. Oh, okay. I see my connection's green again. Connection is green. I think we back. Okay. Video recovered. Okay, cool. Bro, watch your video. Loved it. Thank you, Trickster. Many thanks. Also, thank you everyone for the Fs in chat. Okay. Well, the stream's probably pixely as hell right now, but the important thing is the sound of my voice. I don't know how expensive the pilot uniforms are. No new tanks this update? I guess not. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know if again, I know scout planes can gather intel. I don't remember exactly what that is, but there's a portable radio that you can carry on your pilot's uniform that you can equip in scout planes, but I don't remember if the planes themselves automatically generate that intel. Surprised by the aircraft carriers? I was too, dude. Felt a little bad for the Warden version, but I think their version of the seaplane will be OP in the end. So, okay. So this, oh, actually, you can see it in the bottom there. There's the Warden seaplane, right? Next to that ship. that seaplane, its only armaments that I know of are machine guns. It's got 3 of them, so it's a good interceptor, but I really think it's probably only about as good as the Colonial fighter plane in terms of its damage output, despite the fact that it has 3 machine guns. I don't remember if it's slower or if it's more maneuverable or whatever. Obviously, being able to land on the water is an advantage, but landing on the water is not really going to help you shoot down planes that much. Apparently, the crates will be Quadiful just said in the Discord. Oh, okay. That they showed off, because that's got a much lower profile. I think the barge might be too high. I think the contact point for the planes is pretty close to their fuselage. Okay, stream's back. Let's see what people are asking. Whoops. Holy, you guys are coming in with a lot of questions, and that's totally fair. Appreciate you guys coming here. Also, real quick aside, can everyone go to their YouTube settings and make sure restricted mode is not on? I've seen a lot fewer people stopping by my videos, and I get it. Like, if people need a break from Foxhole, that's fine. But like, if you turn restricted mode on, like half of my videos disappear on my channel. So just make sure you don't have that turned on, because I upload Foxhole stuff every Thursday, and I have been for literally the last decade in August. So please, I'm still making lots of videos, I promise. Okay. What other questions we got? Can you refuel scout planes at sea? I mean, you'll certainly be able to refuel them once they're on. Well, if they're the wardens, you'll certainly be able to refuel them on the thing. Honestly, I think that light freighter will be able to be low enough in the water to refuel scout planes. Because scout planes and planes are just like any other vehicle. You walk right up to it and you just put fuel in. So as long as you have a soldier character standing upright next to it, you should be able to fuel it. Do we get ground attack aircraft for strafing tanks? Not particularly. You can strafe them with your machine guns. The Warden fighter plane does have like the equivalent of an anti-tank rifle on the bottom of it. I don't know how good that's going to be though, because its fire rate is very slow. I'm going to see if I can, like, here's this Warden scout plane after our glorious bombing run. Take some shots at me, right? Like, that is the maximum fire rate of it, it seems like. So you'll probably be able to get 1, maybe 2 shots on a tank with that thing. I don't think you're going to be able to do much more than that. If you slow down, you might be able to get 3, and you might also crash, because that's also a very real possibility. Can't planes land on grass field? That would mean... So planes can land in any cleared area, but they cannot take off unless they have the appropriate surface area. So, like I said, scout planes can take off from basically anywhere. Fighters need a basic runway, and I think bombers need like a tier 2 or tier 3 or whatever the tiers are runway to take off. But for landing, you can crash land anywhere you want, and you can even crash land with the wheels down anywhere you want, but you won't be able to take off again. Can we pull parts off planes, allowing us to maybe scavenge enemy planes? So I know you could pull parts off planes that have landed. Like if a plane's totally shot up, it emergency crashes into a grassy field or whatever, you can pull parts off that plane. If a plane completely explodes, I don't know if it drops any of those materials. Is it possible to walk inside a bomber? No. The only aircraft it looks like you can walk inside of is the Paratrooper aircraft. And even that has some limitations to it, because if the aircraft banks too hard, I think the devs said you literally get forced back into your seat. Actually, I'm going to play the... We had a really funny... I was calling the shots on this paradrop. Everyone crouch.
First,
I was trying... Yeah.
he picked me up. Strip thing that you can build.
Fooling around. I was trying to be super cinematic with this, being like that whole Band of Brothers sequence where he pulls each one of his dudes up because they weigh like 200 pounds or whatever with all their equipment.
All right, is everyone back here?
And oh yeah, here's a quick look at map somewhere. Of course, this footage is too long, so there you go. Nope, no, go back.
Load it up now.
Oh, look at. Now I feel like the map is big and possibly too big. Look at that sexy name. I'm just gonna leave it here for a second. But I was trying to be, yeah, I was trying to be really cinematic with the with the loading up of this, and then here's how we end.
So much in the
Here's go.
I'm stuck.
We
Right into
fucking missed our drop
Well,
zone,
shit.
and we all ended up in the
hoping people
water.
were gonna go past me. God damn it!
Fuck. Even the devs are laughing at
Crack
us.
team of paratroopers.
Oh my god. But yeah, the yeah. So if the plane takes a hard bank or whatever, red light.
But if you really want to,
Wardens.
Fuck it. Let's. But yeah, you can just walk around in there. It's fine. Actually, we do it more on the first one. But if the plane takes a hard bank, you're forced back into
pull
your
out the
seat
parachute,
because
paratrooper.
otherwise the physics get super duper wonky.
It's outfit, you know that, right?
All right, everybody up.
Yeah,
There we go. All right, here we go.
Turn off your cell phone.
Turn on it.
Um,
Mode, please.
Hang on.
Wheels up.
But I did,
So now
Puma,
that
I
we're in the
really did want to walk
one-third
inside a
level,
bomber
you are allowed
and
to get out of your
live
seat
out
and
Masters of the Air, but
aircraft, so you can go ahead and do that now.
we got to make
Notice
some,
that
we got to
if I
make
tilt
some,
the aircraft
we
too
got to cut some
much,
corners
that it will
somewhere,
force
right?
you back into your seat. That's just to prevent you from sliding off, but I'm going to try not to let that happen here.
So, Nihilus, again, the scout planes
gonna
don't
attempt to
generate intel
paradrop
themselves, it
into
seems like,
the
but there is an
town.
item you can carry with you that will generate intel, but it's not
Or a
the
little higher,
intel
sorry.
backpack. It's something different.
No flak.
I'm just gonna quiet myself down. AI, AA defenses? I don't know, actually. I actually have no idea if there's AI, AA defenses.
You guys are just gonna jump out
I haven't seen any, and the
so
dev
it's
stream
like
didn't
flat
appear to
line.
show any.
No, I don't.
I
don't
missed the
miss
town,
that.
so give me
See,
a
the light is red, guys. Come on.
Better,
Yeah. Keep your seats. Don't you know the procedure?
Yes, yeah.
Well, yeah, but we need to hook on to the central line.
With fighters and top fighters,
Yeah, but
strategic
that's when the
bombers can
lights-
too. If this,
well,
yeah.
That's when the doors open.
Is that when
I
the
think.
lights start flickering?
Can seaplanes? Can planes
No,
carry
when the lights are
cargo?
flickering, that
Certain
means
planes
we're
can
about to
carry
hit.
cargo. Just the paratrooper planes. Actually,
No, that's
an important thing to note about paratrooper planes carrying cargo, especially because the Kali paratrooper plane
Wanna do
can
the
land on the
bandit?
water. This could actually do air to sea cargo delivery, which is something the Wardens can't do because their cargo planes or their paratrooper planes cannot land on water. The Kali one can, which is also really interesting. Which also makes me think, like, do you even need to paradrop as a Kali paratrooper? Could you just land on the water and land on a beach somewhere behind the enemy lines? It's really interesting how that's gonna play out. Will they do more? Nope, not that one.
Town. There should be some
Yeah, same.
noise.
Do some dive bombers again, because these dive bombers are so much fun. Dude, there's
Ooh,
so much
direct hit on a turret.
done. There are not done. There's so much fun.
Yeah, same.
Noise.
killed me when I was occupying. the
Outside of
position.
uniforms, it looked like
Nice hit.
wall off all air / naval stuff. Well, the paratroopers are huge. Well, no, because the new naval stuff is all supposed to be like shipyard built, right? So like anyone can go up to a shipyard and build any of those new trawlers
I'm gonna
or
go
the
for skip
little.
bomb.
I forget. I already forgot what the
Missed.
the new little patrol boats basically. But yes, again, you will need more facilities and probably more large group organization for most of the planes, but everyone should be able to fly a scout plane. I am starting to lose my
Sounds like
voice.
Mark wants us to bomb the warden down. All right, I'm going for bomber.
I should have been
I
drinking
mean,
water
it's up to
more.
you. It's just it's there if you want to practice.
I mean,
For
honestly, I
better
don't-
visibility, I guess
maybe
it'd be
at
great
the
if the
very
lines
end of
below the
Fast, if
planes
everyone
change color.
wants
They
to,
don't change
maybe
color,
another,
but like
paradrop.
they shorten
Like, I
and
think
widen.
quite a good angle,
So
and we should
it
drop
will
the
take some
fire up.
time getting used to, and I'm still not used to it even after 2 hours or whatever of flying.
Oh,
But
okay.
the
I'm just
lines on
saying
the
that 'cause it's
planes,
max, right?
it's really easy to tell. Okay, so here's one thing I will say with flying. I found it really easy to tell how high enemy and friendly planes were, like from the ground. I had a much harder time being able to tell where I was in relation to other planes, because I was trying to get level with them so I could shoot the enemy planes, right? But that I found a little hard, and I think that's just the scale of everything. And I think this picture helps show it off. Like these aren't they're probably based off real planes, obviously, but they're not real planes. So it's hard to estimate the scale of them. They look about right. But again, when you're in the air, like being 10 meters above or 10 meters below someone is all the difference for if your bullets are going to shoot or your bullets are going to hit their fuselage or not. There is a little bit of there's almost like a little bit of aim assist where your bullets will go slightly up or slightly down or slightly left or slightly right depending on what you're aiming at. You can also tilt your plane to fire upwards or fire downwards. But still, I think if you want to be a good fighter pilot in Foxhole, really nail down trying to figure out where you are in relation to the target you're shooting at. I think that's going to be, at least for me anyways, that was the biggest mechanical challenge for me in dogfighting.
At 1:30.
Okay.
That's all.
Still got a lot of questions. I don't know how much longer I can do this for, but we'll still keep going because you guys are here, and I really appreciate that.
Yep. Yes.
Bear, is the map one giant without loading now?
Shit.
No, the map is still
loaded.
hexes with presumably player limits. I don't know if there's the same limits as before or not, but they've added more maps.
Remember, as the
So now there's how many maps were there before? Whatever there were before, add 10 new hex maps onto that. Did that bomb explode in the water? Yes, so if you miss with the dive bomb, okay, that bomb hit, that bomb missed. So, yeah, dive bombers, you gotta be accurate. The air brakes really do help with your accuracy. There's me trying to skip bomb. I thought it was gonna go a little bit further than it did. That other dive bomber hit their target. That one missed. I also just realized there was a warden on deck for that. I almost nailed him. I think that was a dev too. That's funny. Dive bombers are so much fun. It's so much fun when you have a good pilot and rear gunner combination. Because again, the rear gunner has to control the flaps.
Ship-sighted.
Oh, did that bomb explode in the water? Sorry, I totally misinterpreted your question. Yes, that bomb exploded in the water. They've already said the torpedo bombers, because torpedoes will sink lower into the water depending on how high you launch them from, up to a certain point, and then it just fails to detonate or fails to activate. I would presume that you could hit submarines with torpedoes. I don't know. I mean, if the submarine surfaced, you could absolutely hit it with a dive bomber. Like, no question about that. I didn't test it, but like, I don't see any reason why mechanically that wouldn't be the case. But if they're submerged, I think you could maybe hit it with a torpedo. And again, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you could. I don't know. It'd be so hard because you couldn't even see them, so you wouldn't even know what depth to try and aim it for. So yeah. Again, the demo that we were shown is just for the air stuff, so I can't answer anything about balance for other vehicles or land stuff or anything they didn't mention in the dev stream. Have you tested how much weight paratroopers can carry? Maybe like have you tried carrying an alligator charge? It wasn't a lot. I'm trying to remember. Like if you take a full stack of 100 BMATs, I think you're over encumbered already. I think it's somewhere between like 75 and like 150 BMATs worth of carry weight. If you can convert that into equipment, I don't remember the numbers that well for Foxhole. I know I've been playing for a long time, which makes it even harder for me because now I have to remember, is these numbers from this update or from like 10 or 100 updates ago? But it's not a lot of weight. Like paratroopers are definitely going to be light infantry. And I think smaller like carbines will definitely be more of your speed for paratroopers. Yep, updates on February 9th, January 20th is the dev branch. Let's see, what else? Again, sorry, I know there's lots of questions. I'm trying to answer them in as full as I can. Do you think that we'll get airships one day? I kind of want one still, but like we're already starting off at like World War II era aircraft, so I don't know. I honestly wanted observation balloons. I think those would be great, like day one airborne stuff. No AA bunker, not that we've seen. Devs confirmed a new type of pillbox. Oh, interesting. Uh, Lil Nor, what type of pillbox? Because I don't think I've heard of it actually. So will the Collie Paratrooper plane be able to take off from water? Yes. Yes, it can. So actually, okay, me and a couple other people, actually, this was on Big Bear Berg's stream. We asked ourselves what were like the most desired aircraft, and a couple of us said, we want the Catalina flying boat so badly. We're not getting a Catalina, but if the Collie Paratrooper plane can land on water and pick people up, you know what? Screw it. 2026. Welcome back, Catalina Flying Boat. PBY Catalina Flying Boat. Devs really cooked on this one. I feel like they did. I mean, they were joking about it, but no, this is basically Naval revamp 3.0 at this point, right? Okay, hang on. Exotic Breadstick, that's a great name, asks, can you land, repair, and refuel on open land, like improvised airstrips? To a point. If your plane has only suffered minor damage, you can, but you can't. You can't take off again though. You can refuel anywhere. You can repair anywhere as long as your parts aren't broken. If your wing gets shot off, your aircraft needs to go back to an airfield, like a proper airfield. You can't just like cobble something together in the field. Like it has to go back into that depot or that hangar or whatever. Oh gosh. Thoughts on the effectiveness of scout planes 12.7 versus infantry? I assume it's like any other machine gun, so actually, no, wait a minute. Yeah, hang on a second. No. I have this. It's when I was riding Moy Dog's plane. If you guys are only joining the stream more recently, this is funny shit. I told Moy Dog, he's like, hey, just take off with me on your wing. And it fucking worked. Again, I don't know if they're keeping this in, but I want this in so bad. I actually wonder if being encumbered makes a difference.
I mean, I feel pretty safe on the wing.
Also, for the record, plane machine gun effectiveness on infantry is there's Moy Dog crashing trying to rescue me. Thanks, Moy.
Alright, I'm gonna drown myself.
This is how effective planes are against infantry. Oh, wait, hang on. Wait for the other pass. Wait for it. Wait for it. I actually don't know which plane killed me, but one of them killed me in one shot. So there you go.
Right, which dev did I piss off to have that done to me?
I guess I'll just go to. I don't know. I'm just gonna play some more footage until something relevant comes up. Actually, I'll go to the landing. Go to the landing sequence for the bombers. Warden Recon plane and Colonial Scout planes both have 2 crew each. So if you only take off with a pilot, you can pick up one other person. Okay, how much fucking air LARP, naval LARP, whatever LARP that is, sea LARP even, that's all the LARPs combined. I want that to be a thing. I want to rescue people out of the water. I don't care if it's more efficient to just drown yourself and respawn. I want that to be a thing so bad. So I'm going to complain to the devs until that happens. Screw it, I'll die on that hill. Yes, Dev Branch will be on the 20th, so on Tuesday. We will get, that's the 31st. We get 20 days of dev branch, so we have got 20 days. So that's almost 3 weeks to test things out. So plenty of time to give feedback and whatnot.
Awesome. Okay.
They said don't okay. This is obvious said, assuming this is the devs speaking on the Reddit. They said don't expect the planes to be able to go more than 2 hexes out with enough fuel to return. Okay, so it sounds like about 2 hexes is the outer limit. Now I'm going to bring up Foxhole stats just to compare. So if we start from the midline, like let's go King's. So if you had an airfield, let's say the Wardens controlled an airfield in King's Cage, right? They would be able to fly about to Ashfield and back. And that's assuming the airfield's not contested, assuming there's not flak nearby to blow the planes out before they even leave the runway, whatever. If you're at Lynn of Mercy, you can get the Heartlands. If you're at Callahan's Passage, you can get to Umbral Wildwoods. Now, you could extend where you can get to by not returning and just getting your airplane destroyed, Doolittle raid style. But the devs have said this, and as I've seen, the aircraft are expensive. They're valuable assets. Do you really want to kamikaze them? I don't think you do, especially not the bombers. Fighters, maybe? Scout planes, sure. But like scout planes aren't gonna do too much to like. What the hell are scout planes gonna do in Umbral other than be like, yep, there's trees down there. There's a lot of trees down there. Oh, did I disconnect for a second again? Again, if the stream quality dips, that's just because my internet's Canadian. The 14.5 got you since it was an instant kill? Okay, fair.
As I said, these parts have value.
I should be back now, though. I should be back.
There's more ways to submit it. Again, as many.
What are the purposes of second person in scout planes? Are they just passengers, or do they control the weapons? It's Dougie asked that question, and the secondary passengers are the ones to launch the torpedoes. Or the bombs for the Kali dive bomber. Actually, you know what? Hang on, let me check. Or it's not the Kali scout plane. Sorry.
Those two. You could do the ones with torpedoes here.
I'm pretty sure the secondary pilot or the secondary seat. Also, yeah, I'm pretty sure the weapons officer is the secondary seat in the scout planes, and that actually is also a good thing because I feel the pilot's going to be so focused on flying that the secondary passenger is going to be far more efficient at relaying information, whether it's map posts, whether it's world chat or not world chat, whether it's team chat, whatever, or making map posts. They'll be able to sit and map, type that out, and be like, there's enemy boats here at this location. They have a facility here, that kind of thing, right? So actually, two-seater scout planes is going to be super crucial to actually fly with 2 people rather than just solo it. You can solo it, but good luck dodging obstacles. Again, as you see, I'm literally just about to clip this little stupid lantern post on this street, and dead. Instantly dead. I think this aircraft was already damaged, but still, like that's a pretty quick death. Okay, I'm gonna put up more of my fighter gameplay because this was, I think this is the most fun I've had. Again, like I said, Kali fighter planes just look really friggin' good. I am so jealous of this. I don't care what anyone says. These are the coolest aircraft. Just flying in formation feels so good. You have no idea. Okay. Let's see how much more I can go for. I do actually need to go and do grocery shopping soon, but yeah.
Yeah, on the top right you'll see VSI right under
yep,
your compass. That'll tell you the delta, how much you're increasing.
Cool.
Am I the only one on this bomber?
You doing it, bomb?
Where is the bomber?
Remember, you
It
can
is west of El Camino State where we spawned.
to back up.
Bear, can you use torps like bombs? No. They will not detonate properly if you drop them from too high an altitude. You have to do level bombing with them. Or not level. You have to do like level basically with the water bombing with them, maybe a little bit higher than that, And I believe even on the Warden like full-size torpedo bomber, you have to slow down. So you're such an easy target. If you get your wing shot off when you're doing a torpedo run on that thing, you're in the water. Like there is no survivability to that thing if you don't have escorts. I know the collies are going to feel pain when they see the torpedo bomber, or they already feel pain, but believe me, it's going to be a lot harder, and I still think it's probably going to kill more Wardens than it's going to kill collies. I think it's still going to do a good like damage to certain ships. They're definitely going to sink some ships this war, or in the airborne war. But man, we're going to lose a lot of Warden pilots in that thing.
Did I make it harder for you or worse?
Can infantry shoot directly at planes? I think they can if they're like within 10 to 20 meters from the ground. Because they are a physical object that you can aim at when they're on the ground. So being high up, it's just like aiming at someone on the cliff. But I'm pretty sure planes can just leave your visual range as infantrymen at some point. Plus, they're like, they don't look fast, and they're not fast because they have to balance for the size of the maps, right? But they will absolutely,
Bombers just over the
they will absolutely just pass you by as infantrymen.
Oh, I see a big shadow. I'm supposing.
Yeah, the scout plane is 35 armats. That's all we know for. Like, I'm sure I could have looked at some of the other numbers, but I wasn't focused on that. I was focused on keeping up with everyone else and making sure I was getting experience in the aircraft. God, I love dogfighting in these things so much. The one thing, okay, I will say another small criticism is that all of the aircraft's machine guns function. They function like a tripod MG where you have to reload every now and again. I kind of wish, like, I don't know how to describe it, but you can see when my HUD is up. So I'm reloading right now. You can see in the upper left of the screen. There's only 50 rounds. Like, you don't fire them that fast, so it's not that big a problem. But you do have to reload, like, every pass or every other pass when you can make a pass at another aircraft. I kind of wish those belts were like 100 rounds minimum, because reloading in the air feels slow, and if you can't judge when to reload at the right time, like you might miss your opportunity. But I suppose in a fighter it's not as bad. Obviously, if you're in a bomber, your bombs should be well and loaded before you reach your target. Watching all the footage, it seems like it will take several dive bombs to kill a ship, but balance right now isn't correct, so damage numbers will be completely changed by then. Yeah, like don't focus too much on the damage. And again, my footage, I filmed it without a lot of HUD, so it's my accuracy could use some work. Let's say that much. There's that magnetism again mechanic that I was talking about. So again, you can't crash directly into aircraft, but they're kind of like magnets where they force each other away, and the heavier aircraft have larger magnets to force smaller aircraft away, which makes sense.
Well, that's okay. That's why you got two of them, right?
Grizzly Bear asks, "Hey Bear, can you speak to how it feels to fly smooth and easy? Does it take some skill?" You know, honestly, I think the devs made it seem harder than possible. It's gonna take a lot of skill to dogfight properly. Absolutely, 100%. Lining up your target, knowing if you're at the same elevation as the other aircraft, like it still messes with you a little bit. But taking off is super easy. You just mouse wheel forward and press S on your keyboard, and you take off. You might not want to hold S too much, because if you're not at full throttle, you might stall out, but you'll still recover. Super easy to fly an aircraft at high altitude because you don't have any objects to worry about. This feels good. This feels like a fucking breeze, right? The aircraft are a little sensitive on their turn speeds. Something you have to get used to, but once you're used to it, feels amazing. It's when you engage targets, it's when... Okay, hang on. There's an exception. As I demonstrated earlier, your fighter, as an example, here's two Warden aircraft chasing mine down. You will notice that your fighter doesn't fly so good when you got no tail on it. Did they indicate how far in the tech tree different planes are? No, they didn't. Actually, I'll ask the chat because I'm curious what you guys think. When do you think the first aircraft, so presumably the scout aircraft, when do you think that they're going to appear in the game? I asked this on my Twitch stream last night as I was playing Manor Lords. We're guessing around real life days. We're thinking around day 5. I'm thinking they're going to appear at the same time as like half tracks. Maybe the late stage of armored cars. Some people were guessing around light tanks. I think that's kind of the range we're looking at. But honestly, even for the airborne update, it might even be sooner than that. I don't know. We'll see. I am very curious, though. If we see planes day 1, I'm going to shit my pants. Both for good reasons and bad reasons. Yeah, so there's what it looks like when you lose your tail, and yeah, you don't fly so good after that.
You will have fully white lines. If you are above, it will basically aim down and go red. It's in intersection.
Yeah, exactly.
Mayday,
Which
this is I saw a bear, I lost my tail, I'm going down.
But at least it's a relatively okay gauge. And I guess at a certain point you'll start to judge like the high.
Okay, so you can crash into ships. You cannot crash into other planes. But you can absolutely crash into ships. You probably will not do very much damage, but I have absolutely crashed a Warden torpedo bomber into a ship. I don't have it in this footage here. I did it earlier. Unfortunately, I didn't have it recorded. Like I said, you have to be level with the water to drop your torpedo. You have to be going slow, and then you have to pull up fast enough to not hit the ship that you're aiming at. This thing is going to kill a lot of Wardens. Okay, people saying day 1, 4, 5, armored cars. All right, yeah. I mean, yeah, it feels like it's going to be in that range, right? Seems reasonable, but it might be sooner than that, or it might be later. The devs said scout planes are 5, 6. Okay, well there you go.
I was trying to do cinematic camera
First
angles,
tanks going.
but
Okay.
The mouse wheels also lock to your speed.
No, so we did not have any of the carriers. There was a surprise to us later on as well. We did not have access or see the carriers ourselves. We did not get a chance to land on it. I will say, though, actually, do I have... Well, that's not the kind of landing I'm talking about. Hang on. If I do my other thing, I'm pretty sure I land the fighter at one point. Oh, yeah, that's our... Hang on. Just because this footage is good, too. This is us taking down, like, the practice target bomber. Yeah, see, I don't know if you noticed in that footage, but I'm just like firing most of my bullets on that. Hold on. Yeah, that pass, I was too far under. So again, if I had turned the HUD on, this would have been easier. But judging the altitude is a little tough, plane to plane. And so most of my shots ended up going underneath that plane. That pass was on, and then I bumped into it a little bit. But it's okay, because we took it out. We took out its engines, and it crashed into the water. And dead. Okay, so again, I didn't land on the Colonial Carrier, but from having landed a few fighter planes, it seems like it's not going to be too hard as long as you line yourself up right. You don't need that much, and this is not going to be a great landing, fair warning, but you don't need that much space. Like, see, I even scuffed the landing. Hit the brakes once you're on the ground, and you'll be fine. Like it's not that hard to land it. You don't even need like look how little space I needed to land that thing, right? It was not even between this fuel tanker and like the end of this grassy roundabout thing did I need to land this plane. Again, it wasn't a very smooth landing, but I don't even think I took that much damage in the aircraft, so another happy landing. Okay, maybe a little bit more than that. But, like, I think the Kali aircraft carrier is going to have more than enough space to land one plane at a time. If you're going to need an air traffic controller, let's be real here. Yeah, Wardens have the seaplane tender carrier, so they can just land in the water. They're few aircraft, like the sea fighter plane and the scout plane, and that's it. I'm really wondering if the Kali carrier gets access to store dive bombers. Because if it can store dive bombers, like the dive bombers aren't much bigger than this fighter. If they can store dive bombers, holy shit, is that huge. Dev branch again is on January 20th. A battleship with catapults.
everyone
I mean, it
grabs
looks
those and
cool,
drive
but
around.
man, I'm jealous of that collie carrier. That collie carrier is gonna be so much better.
Reiterate,
Because think about how long it's gonna take to relaunch aircraft and like after they've refueled. You have to load up
Oh yeah.
each aircraft if you want to launch them all at the same time. You have to load up 3 aircraft with a crane, assuming they don't hit the carrier or their cruiser carrier when they land in the water next to it. Put them on the little launch pads, and then you can send them all off once they're rearmed and refueled. Collies, they just land on their aircraft carrier, refit, refuel on the deck, take off again. Like, I'm so jealous of that. Like, honestly, the collies basically get an airfield at sea. The wardens basically get
Oh, you're good. Okay.
like not that, right? I mean, sort of. Again, we'll have to see depending on which planes. I assume the collie aircraft carrier can house scout planes. That seems logical. They're smaller than the fighters, and obviously they're simpler. The dive bomber's the real question. Devs mentioned pilot uniforms will be expensive. I actually don't know how much the pilot uniforms cost. I don't know if they're facility locked, but I presume that they are crafted the same way other uniforms are at the uniform facility manufacturing, whatever it's called. Do you know what resources you need to produce plane parts? I know rare. Oh god, facilities are not my forte. I think Freerk, if he's still here, can answer that question better. It's going to require alloys. Don't know which ones. It's going to require rare materials. Again, don't remember which ones. You'll forgive me. I'm not as versed in that line of Foxhole. Other than weapon ammo, is there any difference between the fighters? The only difference between the Collie main fighter and the Warden main fighter, I think, is the fact that the Warden has that extra 14.5 underneath it, and they have to switch to that weapon as well. I think that's the only difference. I'm pretty sure if there's a difference in speed, it's not really noticeable. But flight mechanics feel roughly the same. I think the Wardens might have a little bit of better turning radius, but again, it's not. If they do, I didn't really feel it.
Where is the bomber?
How many can we put in storage, though? Yeah, Night Cow is a really good question. How many planes does the Collie air carrier get to carry? Is my question. I do have to wonder. Did the dev say anything about train driving or rail switching? Nope, not in the dev stream.
He's now traveling south.
You have to stop the battleship to recover planes. Oh, plus you have to stop the battleship to recover planes. Oh. Actually, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Strictly speaking, the Kelowna aircraft carrier should be able to recover planes on the move. I think you're right. I think the Warden one does have to stop. I mean, maybe if the Warden C planes land ahead of it and they pick them up as they're moving after they've landed and are sitting still. But man, yeah, I just realized, yeah, that recovery and launch process. So it's gonna... I definitely think the Collie's got the better end of the stick with Airborne. At least for their topmost stuff, right? I mean, honestly, they got the better drip for aircraft, personally. Like, the Warden aircraft look fine, but this above the wing propeller stuff just is weird to me. Maybe I should ask my brother. He's a commercial pilot. I should ask him.
Holy crap.
Okay. What time is it? Okay, I'm gonna have to go relatively soon. Pretty sure rare mats are necessary for larger planes. Okay. That's Freerk in chat also responding. Also, thanks for helping out with some questions, Freerk. It was fun. It was fun to see you fly some planes in this preview branch. I'm still so impressed. You got the kill on that bomber. I'm just like, man, how long does it take to take out its engines? You just swoop by and it's like, it's dead. Show off. Collie bias, yeah.
Over our airfield.
I was too busy having fun in there. Yeah, fair. The Warden aircraft carrier sucks? I don't think it sucks. It's definitely less efficient. I think it's still going to be a very good asset to have. Because again,
Sorry, you're trying to take
the main thing aircraft carriers really will bring is combat air patrol or CAP and scouting. That's the main thing. Like I do not think you can launch bombers from any. Well, I seriously doubt you can launch bombers from a Collie aircraft carrier. I would love to see them try. That would be really funny. I don't think it's going to happen. But if they want to do little raid some shit, you know what? Hats off to them. Can you salvage down planes for mats? You can salvage planes that have crash landed on the ground, but if the plane is fully destroyed, I don't know if it drops a vehicle box with stuff to recover. Like, don't get me wrong, Warden cruiser carrier is goated aesthetically. Functionally,
Well, that's okay. That's why you get right?
Yeah, Warden carrier has 3 launchers. Technically, the Collies only have 1, but the planes can take off in very rapid succession. And we saw in the screenshots, actually, I do have this screenshot of the carrier here. Okay, so from my limited experience flying planes, 100% you should be able to take off those 4 aircraft from that position in quick succession. Right? You can launch 1, 2, 3, 4 within 30 seconds if all your pilots and your ships and whatever are very coordinated, right? If you really squish the space towards the back of the aircraft carrier, I think you might be able to launch 5 in quick succession. And that's huge. Having an entire wing of even just fighters in 30 seconds in the air ready to go is insane. Like, I honestly, like the Collies should be all over this. This is huge. The Warden seaplane tender, I don't actually think I have the screenshot of it. If anyone in the chat has the screenshot of it and just, like if someone's posted it on Reddit or whatever, I'll go to that. But yeah, it's... Actually, I'll do more dive bombing since I was talking about that stuff. It's crazy. And like, they fucking did it. They did it. I've always said, like I said in the air update video, I'm just like, I don't think they'll do aircraft carriers, but if they did, that would be amazing, and they fucking did it. They fucking did it. The Mad Lads. Every time I think they've reached their upper limit of what they can do in Foxhole, they do more, and I just can't believe it. Warden carrier useless. I don't know if the Collie carriers can carry dive bombers. I don't know. That's one big thing we're gonna have to think about though.
Yeah, but yeah. So I'm wondering what it is about.
Collies are limited in that their fighters can't land on water.
Bombing door earlier either.
They can be camped trying to land if they can. Yeah, but okay. Well, hang on. Jonathan brings up a point. They say Collies are limited in that their fighters can't land on water, so they'll be camped. I assume you mean being camped like at the carriers. Number one, that carriers are going to have AA functions. If you saw that image of the carrier, it had four EMGs on it, which we know can now target aircraft. So it's got good air defenses. And number two, I don't have the screenshot of the new map, but there's land in every map. And we already know from this test that several of the island hexes are going to have airfields on them, presumably. We've only seen one, but I would assume there's more. So even if they can't land back on the carrier, they can still divert to other airfields to land, right? So I don't think it's as simple as camping. And also camping in an aircraft seems really tough. Because you have to make passes. And that's also assuming there aren't any sort of air defenses active. So it's not to say that it won't happen, but I think you're missing a lot of other variables that might happen. What do I think the next major update is going to introduce? I don't even know at this point, man. I'm just going to go back to my suggestion series. If you guys haven't seen the suggestion series I do for Foxhole, every couple of months I'll be like, here's some cool things I think they could add to Foxhole. Not saying it was me, but they clearly looked at my suggestion for the Naval update, and a lot of stuff in there found their way into the Naval update. But mountain and tunnel warfare, I think, is basically the only fields of battle left to explore in Foxhole from a like World War I, World War II era perspective. I don't think there are any more fronts that we could really do. I think tunnels and mountains. Collies can't bring scout planes on. Did they say it can carry dive bombers? Oh no, do I have to refer to the dev stream again? Hang on. I am gonna have to go soon. I actually do have to pick up groceries. That's the trailer. Foxhole. I'm just gonna hope Siege Camp. Okay, did they post the full VOD on YouTube yet? No, they didn't. Okay, I have to go to Twitch. One moment, please.
And look into the developments that I don't know that we've talked about before, or concepts that
did they actually say about the dive bombers on carriers?
Fly off and you can rearm it on other places. But having this aircraft carrier is what's going to enable your naval fleets to bring the aircraft with you, to have that mobile air.
I mean, it looks fucking cool.
So
I'm happy to have it. I would have been happier with the Collie. Nope.
It will take a lot. The fighter is the best.
Hang on. Where does it
two
say
aircraft that can launch from this? The dive bomber and the fighter plane. Able to launch there's an advantage to being able to launch the fighter, because the fighter is the premier weapon for protecting against like bombing runs and other aircraft. So being able to launch a basic fighter from the ocean is the Colonial's biggest advantage. The dive bombers, you'll also be able to launch from this thing to help assist against.
Oh! Rest in peace, Warden Navy. Yep, I totally missed that. I totally didn't catch that comment. Holy shit, Warden Navy's cooked. Holy fuck. They're fucked. Oh shit. This is gonna be a really interesting war. I'm so excited now. I don't even care. I'm so excited now. Well, time to watch Midway 2019 all over again. Yeah, no, you were absolutely correct. Yeah, I totally missed that in the dev stream. Sorry. Even I didn't catch that. Holy shit. yeah, Pearl Harbor coming. No. Go watch the dev stream if you haven't yet. Or go watch, well, my video doesn't cover it.
Like I mentioned earlier,
the Warden one. Okay, so the Wardens get this specialized seaplane. Okay. And for any colleagues who are like, oh, Wardens get one extra plane, it's clearly Warden bias. Dude, this thing is almost the exact same as the Warden fighter, except it doesn't have the 14.5 millimeter under it, and it can land on water. That's the only difference. Is like functionally it acts the same. It's just specific for naval stuff. And I'm actually noticing now, yeah, this Warden cruiser carrier. It's only got 2 emplaced machine guns, and it's got no full-size turrets on it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Collies get a really nice aircraft carrier, let me tell you. It's also slower and has less ammo. Wait, which one? Robot. Which one are you referring to? Does the seaplane able to land on a regular airstrip? Yes. So the seaplane does still have wheels on its little float, so it can land on land, take off from land, land at regular airstrips. It's not just water. I don't understand the point of the Warden carrier. To launch aircraft at sea so that you can have combat air patrols for your fleet, and also so you can do scouting runs from your fleet. Bear, if test servers are still open, can you give a screenshot of the map? Well, no, the test servers aren't still open. This was a limited time. Like, this was a 2-hour test, so I'm afraid they're not open. You'll have to pull the map. I think I do show the map a little bit. Actually, I don't even remember if I edited it in my video properly. Honestly, again, I'm on 5 hours of sleep for the last 3 days. I've been doing a lot of editing. And friendly reminder to everyone in here, I'm going to be releasing shorts. I have some permission to release other footage from the test. So you'll see some shorts on the channel, and then on Dev Branch Day, I'm also going to just release them all as one compilation with the full widescreen view. I'm still editing some of them. It's going to be a very busy rest of the next 20 days for me, okay? I really appreciate you all being here, though. Medium boat balance? What? Cully's... Dev said Cully's... Okay, hold on. Ballin... Sorry, you got to be specific. You said devs can't have scout planes, what, in the aircraft? I mean, honestly, if devs are... if the Colonials can't have air or scout planes on their carriers, I really don't see that as much of a problem because they have fighters. Those will be scouts enough. They won't be as efficient at scouting, but they'll be more efficient at shooting down other aircraft. Also, the scout planes are really slow. Like, the scout planes are about 75% the speed of fighters from what I remember. Did I want to see the change for the EMG? Wonder how the range will be. Yeah, the range for the EMG I actually haven't seen. That'll be interesting too. I wonder if aircraft carriers will have radar for intel. I actually don't know. I would suspect you're going to have to rely on your destroyer or your corvette in order to get intel for you, so that you actually have to put like a fleet together. Also, can we all just appreciate the fact that fleets are going to be a thing where they actually sail information now? Now you're going to want to put your destroyers to the side of your battleships and your destroyers and your carriers, because those are the highest valuable targets. You got to make it hard for those torpedo bombers, right? But scout planes don't have intel in them. From what I don't remember, and I apologize. I didn't take notes on this. I didn't look for it specifically. From what I remember, scout planes. I do not remember if scout planes generate intel themselves, but I know there is a thing you can carry on your pilot's uniform that will generate some intel. I think there's actually a difference between air intel and ground intel, and I think this object can only generate air intel. Check the Kali aircraft carrier for the anti-airship guns. Yeah, Warden carrier has 2. The Kali one has 4. Oh, that's interesting. They're actually not like totally even. So it's 2 around the base of the conning tower and 2 clustered together on its opposite side. Interesting. Okay. Which, I mean, this is arguably the optimal configuration because the sides of the ship are where you're most likely to receive a hit, especially from our torpedo, as opposed to the front or the rear. Plus, like, you need the aircraft to take off anyways, so that makes sense. Submarine play is going to be a lot more fun now. Honestly, I think submarine hunting is going to be a lot more fun now. God, I want to hunt submarines and scout planes and torpedo bombers and then crash that thing because it's very crashable.
Yeah.
Your thoughts about dropping paratroopers onto large ships? I didn't even think about that. Holy shit, Punzo. Oh, that's such a. I mean, first off, your paratrooper plane is gonna get shot out of the bloody air trying to land on a large ship, like almost no doubt. But yeah, if the paratroopers get in there, they can cause some chaos. But obviously, like with other large ships, you won't be able to take over an aircraft carrier, I presume. But being able to disrupt their operations, oh man, that would be so cool. Collies kind of get an advantage with that strategy too, because if their paratrooper plane can land on the water, pick up troops, and then fly over to enemy large ships and drop paratroopers onto them, holy shit, man. Space Marines! Yeah. The Collies. God damn it, man. Has that ever happened in history? Have paratroopers ever landed on an enemy large ship? That's never happened before, right? There's lots of commando options with the pilot uniforms. Planes are going to make it harder to be a Logi player. I mean, that's very true, but like, to be honest, like, backline Logi has had it pretty good for a long while. I'm just talking in terms of like how many defenses get set up. Like you go to the backlines, even by mid-war, everything's concreted up. It's impossible for most partisans to get anywhere near like the road. So I think opening up a few more partisan options is a good thing. Of course, paras will be limited by carrying capacity and whatnot, but like partisans got to have some options, right? Are small torpedoes strong? Again, these numbers are subject to change. When we tested them, like obviously they can one-shot a motorboat. I think 2 small torpedoes might be able to take out a barge, but again, the barge I targeted, I don't know if it was damaged or whatever. So my impression is that small torpedoes will be able to kill small ships, like really small ships, and probably heavily damage. Maybe not even medium ships, like whatever's below medium ship. Like maybe like 3 or 4 small torpedoes might be able to disable a gunboat, kind of thing. Just like make it so that it's drifting. Is my guess. I don't know if that's the case. But again, you also have to line your shot. Also, I will say, for the Warden Scout plane with those small torpedoes, again, you have to go close to the water, which means you have to go close to the enemy that's trying to kill you. And those scout planes are very delicate. Like, one machine gun belt will kill a scout plane. Like, if he's just able to sit there and shoot at the scout plane is dead. So, the scout planes just have limited weapons to do some damage. Their main role should be scouting. And yeah, Petro brings up a really good point, and that's one thing I wanted to mention earlier too, and I just forgot. Paratroopers being an invisible on intel, even for half an hour, probably won't be that big a detail because you're probably going to see that large plane signature pop up on the map, and you'll know something's up, that either a bombing run is happening or paratroopers are now in that area, right? So a little bit of intuition, a little bit of figuring it out, you'll know that paratroopers are there. Now, that being said, even just the fact that paratroopers are there will disrupt Logi. You'll have to take different roads and stuff like that. But I think the no intel is fair for them. Because imagine if there was no intel safety for paratroopers. They would be dead in 5 minutes. Less than that. Like, quick reaction forces are kind of insane in how efficient they've gotten over the years in Foxhole. Like, I use the partisan all the time. It's never been harder to be a partisan than it is now. Welcome to Airwatch. I think Warden Scout planes are going to be huge for Island QRF. I mean, yeah, Warden Scout planes as a QRF is an interesting strategy. Again, they absolutely will not be able to take down a large ship. No way in hell is 5 Scout planes, even loaded with the maximum amount of small torpedoes, going to be able to take out a large ship. No way. They might cause a few holes. Sure. Maybe even like 5 holes. But now that... Actually, small torpedoes I don't think can cause large holes. So I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. And now, as the devs have said, large holes can be just repaired with BMATs. They'll be more susceptible. So I think the best way to think about large holes in ships is that it's going to be like armor on a tank. You can repair all of that damage, but now that your armor is degraded, it's going to be easier to crack that armor. So large holes, you're going to be able to fully repair them so there's no water leaking in your ship anymore. But you're going to be more susceptible to that large hole opening up again. So that's the way I'm going to explain it probably in the update video. And I think that's a fair way to say that. But I'll wait for the number crunchers in Dev Branch to tell me I'm wrong and I don't know anything. That's fair. Or sorry. Not BMATs. Yep, I already screwed up the words. Sorry. Again, I'm on 5 hours of sleep for the last 3 days. Large holes can be repaired with, what did you guys say? With steel beams, not BMATs. Still something you're going to have readily on your ship, but they repair with steel beams. I'm sorry. My bad. I misspoke. I need to go to bed. No. So you still need steel beams, but you can fully repair them. They aren't going to just keep leaking anymore. Speed limit enforced by aircraft. Yeah, exactly. Can we rewatch this live? Yeah, this live chat, it's going to go into my channel history. You can rebrowse the questions and whatnot. Yeah, you'll be able to rebrowse the questions and whatnot, and stuff like that for anything you missed. I'm just gonna see. Hang on, I have a little bit more. Did I leave this? Whoops. Well, actually, this is fine. I'm just gonna show. Oh, hang on. Nope. So I'm going to have to take off pretty soon. This was at the end of my video that I just uploaded, or not just, like 2 hours ago, uploaded to the channel. So you guys can check that out. This is also probably, depending on the amount of work I have to do, this is also probably going to be the intro for the full update video. So yeah, again, I think I'm gonna head out now because it's been 2 hours. Been answering a lot of questions. My voice is shot. I need to go get some groceries for the week, and I need to get some rest because we're almost at airborne time. We're so close to there, you guys. It's been a long time coming. Again, I've been covering Foxhole in August. I will have been covering Foxhole for a decade, and that is insane to me. So thank you guys for all of the support over the years. Again, I upload every Thursday Foxhole stuff, and Sundays are just some fun other games I usually play with the stream or with some friends. Co-op. We have a very cringy anime game that we streamed last weekend, so Sunday's going to be interesting. But yeah, I'll see you guys all in Dev Branch. Feel free to stop by and say hi. And remember, who dares wins. Yeah, exactly. Remember, stop by and say hi. If you stop by and say hi in the Dev Branch, I will say hi back, and you are liable to be recruited to help me test some stuff, because I am going to need a lot of people to help me test some stuff, yo. Okay. That's enough talking for me. And as always, good luck. Keep your heads down, and you'll definitely want to stay in your foxholes after a bombing run. I'll see you guys in the airs. Take care.
Keep the nose down! Let's get this fire out! The fire's out! Pull! 12 o'clock, dead ahead! Oh, shit!
It's a hell of an observation mission, Major.
Are they all like that?
You wondering what to tell your guys? Don't say anything. I'll figure it out. We all do.